It's going to take a long time before I can get that imagery out of my mind.
The double recovery.
Oh, double greatsword recovery off the top. Okay, there's no greatsword in this game. It's Macho Man versus Ragnar, as you said.
Good fastballs from Stardeath.
Wait, Wes, are you gone? Okay, he makes it back. I thought that Okay. Wow. All right.
They're just starting off going into it. You're still trying to recover from the last game. I don't blame you. But right now, we're here in game number 1. Stardeath playing this axe, but Wes is getting these openers, and he's getting these hits.
Stardeath's gone.
Yeah.
Wow. There, South America's out for blood. They don't want to allow, and they won't allow anybody to use their stock. It's just over within a matter of 3 hits. Wes doing fantastic on. Okay. Starting off so strong on the axe on this second stock of Stardeath, already taking a damage lead. Recovery from Stardeath, double recovery. Nice job coming back. He needs those to hit. He's at a point where now where I feel like a neutral stick might be able to catch him off guard. Recovery hits again. Can Stardeath get the neutral stick off the right side of the stage? No, he cannot. He misses it, and there is that going to be the stock for Wes?
Still looking for these recoveries. Stardeath playing just high enough to avoid that recovery. Stardeath really needs to finish the stock, but you see how Wes is chasing, unconcerned with the fact that he's unarmed and in the red. He's still chasing underneath Stardeath.
Gravity cancel side stick didn't pan out, but Stardeath is just struggling for his life, and that's 3 stocks to 1 under a minute 30. Let's see what the first weapon's going to be for Stardeath. It's going to be Guitar. Stardeath gets Sidelight nared. He avoids the ground pound that time, and that's got to be the 7th recovery on Guitar. He's hit on West this stock, and it still hasn't taken him off the top. It's been very rough for Stardeath going into this game. Neutralite, great anti-air option, catching that down air from Stardeath. Axe is picked up. A side air will definitely finish it, but he's way too damaged. He's way too damaged to get a side air follow-up off of a side light on Axe, and Wes is just going to town. Oh, that down air side air almost hit. This is going to be a 3-stock. Wes gets the side air. Is that it?
Didn't hit the
recovery
weapon
early.
toss.
He has a dot. Recovery.
Why would you side light? But it's still a 3-stock. Wes gonna take game number 1 in convincing fashion. Like, there was no moment in that one where it looked like Stardeath was taking that one lead.
I mean, we're watching replays right now, but on my screen I can see Wes's clan, and it's Lee. so his name's Wesley, but it's broken up twice. I just wanted to point that out. Okay.
Wes of the clan Lee.
Wes of the clan Lee. Or I guess Lay. She wants to say Lay. I don't know. I'm going to say Wesley.
I mean, it's the second part of his name. But Stardeath going to make the swap over to the Val for game number 2. Did not like anything that the Ragnar had to put out. I feel like he didn't even have time to decide if he didn't like that Ragnar. Well, like, that was just
there were cool follow-ups that he did on the guitars for sure. I said it. He's hit 7 recoveries on that first stock. West took 218 damage. He just never lost it. That was
I was saying, no, those recoveries led to a knockout. Like.
Yeah. Oh no, we're seeing a very similar happening to the last game. Whoa! Double recovery into jumping cider. West almost exhausted every single mobility option that he possibly had, and that cider hits. Stardeath is running for his life. Finally gets some damage in. Wes is just sidering and recovering Stardeath constantly.
Wes feeling real confident. Just the way that he's going so aggressive onto Stardeath. Like, Wes feeling like he is undefeatable right now in game number 2. But Stardeath is able to put out a little bit of damage here onto Wes's first stock.
Yeah, Wes
is
relentless with the corner pressure there. Went for the weapon throw to catch to predict the fastfall. Didn't go for it. So went for the Gravity Cancel downlane. Instead, jumped over all those options. But really good pressure from Wes now onto the Lance. Stardeath running away from the side airs that were causing him to lose his stock so early on. But that one he can't dodge. Uses the recovery early, and the weapon throw from Wes just Lance, Axe, throwing the entire arsenal at him. One of them's bound to hit, and it does. 3 stocks to 2 now.
He just caught the axe so he could delay the weapon spawn. Like, that wasn't even he wanted an axe or anything like that. He literally just grabbed it and was like, oh, there's a new weapon on the field. Give me a second. I'm going to delay your weapon spawn for a moment.
Nair. Whoa! Nair ground pound. Gravity cancel sidelight. Nair. What? Wes is crazy. Side air hits the jump off of Stardeath, catching him off a guard. Going all the way around, went for Gravity Cancel. If he pivoted that was going to be the stock, but Stardeath's already low on jumps. Recovery's going to hit. No, but Stardeath goes super deep, and Wes is just... I feel like Wes is just seeing red right now with some of the options that he's taking, because he's just like, I have to chase him constantly, no matter what side air hits. I'm surprised
this is like This is like the mark of a South American player, though, is like they don't have concern for how much damage they have on their stocks. They're just constantly looking for knockouts. Wes gonna get another one and still has some health to play with on this Olgrim, this high defense legend.
Yeah, and surprisingly, or at least much to my surprise, Wes still showing some of that patience there. The reason why he got that stock, the reason why he got that stock was because he waited for the gravity cancel side stick from Stardeath. Caught with the silent and recovery, now getting a bunch of nairs. Down air doesn't hit, that sider doesn't hit, but I mean he's just whiffing. He's not getting punished. Recovery from Stardeath. It's kind of feeling like Ragnir. Those recoveries are hitting, but Wes is still on 3 stocks.
Yeah, they have more force.
I suppose.
Stuffed out the recovery. Wes misses the sidelight, so Stardeath gonna get the knockout with the downlight recovery. No 3 stock for game number 2, but Wes coming in here fresh as a daisy. Again, he's just chasing down Stardeath. Does not even care, and Stardeath is scared.
Yeah, Stardeath getting a nice nair into down air. That nair doesn't get through, and Wes gets good damage in. Pummeled away. Stardeath starting to fight back. Weapon throw comes through. Wes is just kind of like, well, we're going to wait for a new one. Picks up perfectly. I'm surprised Stardeath went for the weapon throw in that situation. Ended up losing it. Dodged the neutral sig. Chase dodges all the way past. Sword picked up. He's getting good damage, and Stardeath fighting back. And Wes is struggling to succeed with that playstyle that he was succeeding with so much in the game number 1, but he is still a full stock ahead, but maybe. Oh.
He gets past. Stardeath, though, not taking a lot of damage here since Wes came in on the 2nd stock. Suddenly, Stardeath looking alive.
Another recovery?
Another one.
Oh! I wonder if neutral sig was better there. It was a difficult read. The side stick came very, very close. Maybe if he pivoted, it would have hit, but downlight and recovery, not enough just yet. But Stardeath has, yeah, as you said, essentially gone untouched. Downlight recovery will take the stock for him here. Oh, man, Wes doesn't care. Wes is jumping so far and get after him. Downlight, down sig, weapon throw, forces the fast fall.
Oh!
Nicely done.
He had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Didn't have the dodge, didn't have the movement. Wes gonna take game number 2, but suddenly Stardeath looking alive. I like the movement speed on the Val. Really helped him out because he was able to kind of like dive in and then dive back on a lot of those approaches.
Interesting. Look at the replay here. We're going to be seeing a nice dash pivot ground pound from Wes, but the legend swap over to Stardeath is Sir Roland for game number 3.
Yeah, that is a bold decision from Stardeath to try to pick one of Wes's characters and go lance to lance against the arguably strongest lance player in the South American region. But right now, Stardeath needs something, and maybe it's the defense of a roll-in to get through Wes. Yeah,
if there was one thing that was similar between the Val and the Ragnir, it was that he was hitting a lot of recoveries on guitars and gauntlets, and they weren't really leading anywhere. Now onto the sword and lance, maybe getting a more horizontal approach to these knockouts. Okay, all right, we got me scared there, Stardeath. The recovery came in clutch. Yeah, when he did that that horizontal dodge and went underneath the platform, I think he panicked a little bit. Still had the touch, though. Wes didn't challenge. Ooh,
nice
he gets
ground pound.
Okay, Stardeath on to the first stock lead of the entire set. And Wes is acting like it's not the thing as he jumps up.
He's just chasing vertically again.
I've never seen somebody babysit a Lance player with unarmed before, but that's what we just watched Wes do. And Stardeath is unfazed by this. Nice job. Silent Sider hits, weapon throw forces Stardeath to jump upwards. No dash jump pivot ground pound. Never mind. Of course, I said no, and then he did it. Yeah. It's been a popular thing from Wes on the left side of the stage, and Stardeath hasn't seemed to be playing on the ledge in a way that's going to counteract that. It's been hitting so much for Wes, and now that neutral air hits after the neutral light gets a good amount of damage and evens up the game.
No, but still, Stardeath looking much better here in game number 3. Has some health to play with in comparison to Wes. And with the recovery, goes for the gravity cancel D-Light, but Wes staying real high on that one. Got to be careful about that ground pound, though. You see Stardeath trying to recover high to avoid it.
Yeah, sidelight side air hits, and Wes is on the platform taking advantage of that. Went all the way up with that nair, and oh, no reversal. Side air was stacked, so it didn't hit. Sidelight side air puts him on the side of the stage, and Wes go all the way out for that ground pound. He does jump a little too high. Gravity cancel sidelight doesn't catch either. He has been very adamant about hitting those gravity cancel sidelights both on Axe and Lance, just catching Stardeath off with a very quick, far-reaching move that could potentially combo into his demise. Going deep down for that side air, avoids the recovery. Side air gets punished by Stardeath's own side air on Lance, but that weapon throw doesn't hit, and now Wes is on the hunt. Weapon throw interrupts that recovery, but the recovery still hit.
Chase. Stardeath with the weapon advantage, though. Downlight into the recovery, still not enough. Again, this high defense from the Ulgrim really cursing Stardeath. He's got to work so much harder to finish off these stocks.
There's got to be a record for Stardeath on how many recoveries he's hit in a set that don't lead to a knockout. It's been insane. Wes on the axe. Dash on pivot ground pound. Oh, he faked it! He fooled me!
Oh,
but he didn't
nice
fool
punish.
Stardeath. The second time he went for it, he actually committed, and Stardeath actually punished it this time with the down air. Takes stock lead once more. Nicely played.
Still, Stardeath needs to get a nice lead going into these final stocks. He is in the red. Wes just needs to hit a sidelight side air. You could see this stock gone, or a recovery. Just like that, it is even in these final stocks, except for the fact that West is up 2 games.
Down air hits. Down light hits. Stardeath trying to get to that weapon. Wesley doesn't punish with the nair, and Stardeath has an opportunity. Grab pound misses, but then the grab pound from West connects. Dodges through the neutral light, down light, nair. Goes to the grab, cancel silent, but he was a little bit too high. Started dodges through, and Wes on the way back to the stage. It's ground pound
Barely
time.
touched.
Oh, he misses. It's close.
That's the landing.
I would say this is a Stardeath lead. It's so close to tell, though. This first hit's going to decide who gets it. Nice down ticket. Just too bad it didn't hit. West got a perfect dodge through.
Nice recoveries.
Oh!
Downlight nair. Didn't go for the recovery on that one.
I think it's because he just hit the recovery. Maybe it still would have been better. I'm not sure.
I think it's more, it's at the very least, it's more damage, which right now he needs against Wes. But hitting the side air has Wes off stage. Doesn't threaten too hard. It's a recovery again, but that one's low, so not expected. This one off the soft platform will lead to a knockout. Stardeath gonna get a game.
Stardeath takes a game, despite being in a damage deficit every single game so far. Wait, no, that's not true. Okay, it's 584. I was backwards. Anyways, he was up until that point. A nice 60 damage lead up into that game. Put Stardeath on the board, and it is now 1-2. Stardeath working towards a 3-0 comeback. Let's see if he can do it. The disadvantage, of course, being that West being up 2 games has that advantage in the map picks. So we'll see how that plays out here.
Why would you switch? All right, Zariel, game number
Really?
4.
Did he?
What? There's no, like, generally speaking, in tournaments, you can see the thread lines. You can see the dots that are connecting. But Stardeath coming in here with the Zariel, we saw the gauntlets on the Val, but I wouldn't say there was anything specific about that Val gauntlet play that, like, stood out to make me go, yeah, okay, I can see the carryover. Instead, it just seems kind of out of left field, but we'll see what happens as we get into game number 4.
Crystal Temple for game 4. Wes made some interesting target bans, whittling it down to Small Brawlhaven, Crystal Temple, and Demon Island. This is where Stardeath chose to go. And now onto the Zariel. It's interesting. It's bow and gauntlets. You're right. There's a little bit of connection, but it's a little confusing to me. Maybe he was like, okay, I got as much out of the Roland I possibly could, and he's playing a game where he's trying to keep Wes so like on his toes with the legends that he's picking that it's possible.
I do at least appreciate that this Zariel has defense going in with the defense stance, but man, this defense doing nothing against the lance of Wesley. Wesley is finding hits.
Yeah, that gravity cancel neutral stick was sick. He's getting the recoveries as well. Started fighting back with his own recovery, but the downer hits through, and Wes looking for that sider to finish the stock. Is that going to be it? Weapon throw goes a little too low. Wes
can't touch.
Doesn't even
That's a little too far.
Yeah. Now a really solid stock lead for Wes on game number 4. Started fighting back. Nice sider. See if we can get a downlight on the gauntlet. Goes for the weapon throw into kick, but that's about it. Sidelight nair. Oh, I thought he was getting sidelight nair again for sure. He landed on the platform, and maybe it was just a little weird with the timing. Or maybe he was going for a dodge read. Either way, it's still good damage. He's not getting punished. Nair ground pound hits as well. Ground pound from Stardeath hits through the platform, but West still 3 stocks, 2 neutral light hits. Is it neutral sig time? Oh, yeah, it is, but Stardeath was ready for it.
It's a down signature. It's going to launch Wes up. But again, these vertical knockouts just aren't happening in favor of Stardeath.
Like the one sig in Zariel's kit. It's like, maybe you should have hit that against Wes. It's not gonna do anything. Oh, is that gonna be another recovery? Wes goes for it after resetting his jumps. But Stardeath gets a nice knockback on that recovery as well, and he was up to 2-2. Let's see how this plays out. Wes is jumping around. You know, I
Wes
wonder
with
when
help.
he comes back on a fresh stock, he partially chases against his opponent, but doesn't throw out any attacks with the iframes to also be in the best position for a new weapon spawn as well, since they spawn in the air. I never thought about it that way, but I think that's what Wes is going for.
I just feel like Wes is just saying, hey, my opponent's over there. I want to be over there. It's just going to dive forward with the slide charge side heavy. Stardeath trying to go for some tricky stuff. You saw him going for these like weapon tosses to try to reset the strings. Still got some good damage built up onto Wes's second stock, despite the fact that Stardeath is behind.
Ooh, nice recovery. One more of those will take that stock, and that will be that'll be match stock for Stardeath. He's not able to get that stock, and there it is. Side air hits. Wes just waits in the ground. One neutral light to celebrate, and he swaps over, primes the axe, and he's looking for those side light and air, side light resets. Let's see what he can do.
Falling Nair will put Wes in the vertical. Expecting more of that juggling, but just couldn't find the neutralite hit. Wes going to disarm himself on the weapon toss, looking for that lance spawn. Stardeath with the denial. Side sig doesn't go over the corner, so it's going to bounce him up. Yeah. Again, that's where Wes likes to be. He has extended so many stocks just because the ceiling apparently grows whenever Wes gets near it.
Ceiling is just has an aversion to Wes. It's like, get away. So just backing
Ceiling
up.
is allergic to him.
Oh, man. Yeah, that side sig, I think, would have actually taken the stock. He got the left side, but Stardeath. Wow. Incredible play on that stock, recognizing what's at stake here. Barely got hit. Takes Wes off the top with the recovery, despite the aversion that it apparently has, and it's now 1-1 on the gauntlets now. I'd like him to go over to the bow. I feel like he's been getting a lot more mileage off of it. Goes into recovery, gets hit by that nair, but oh, the gravity cancel side light into side air. Nice punish on the Wes. See if he can get any more damage. He's forcing Wes off to the right side of the stage. Nair hits. Nothing else after it. He's not switching, though. He is determined to stay on the gauntlets.
Up the dodge down with the down air, but Stardeath, again, sticking with these gauntlets. He spot dodged inside, got his recovery stuffs, got shoved over to the corner. Still fighting back, doesn't hit the ground.
Oh, he dodged under the stage,
oh,
and he hits the recovery. This is a perfect recovery knockback.
No movement.
Yeah, Wes feeling good about hitting that axe recovery. That is for sure. And we're going to see it in the replay. But what remarkable spacing from Wes to see that gauntlet ground pound to duck underneath the stage and be able to get the punish. It was really well played in that last moment.
It's really tough to do a dip underneath the stage because most people don't feel comfortable when they're underneath the stage. But Wes playing real smart around that ground pound.
Yeah, we're going to see it here. Like, this is where I was like, started this comeback. First the nair, sees the next ground pound, he's like, I can't nair in time. So he dips underneath, and that's just done. Dodged right in the perfect spot for the axe recovery to send him flying into one angle that he'd have no chance of coming back from. And that is a 3-1 victory for Wes over Stardeath.
And that means we are finding the last 8. We're going to be in the winner side of things, and just a little bit. Of course, we've got DB and Vicina. You just saw the bracket. They're up